What if you could escape traffic by soaring into the sky? The dream of flying cars is closer than ever. From sci-fi concepts to real-world prototypes, we'll explore this fascinating evolution, dive into Elon Musk's perspective, and discuss how flying cars could shape our future. Let's take flight. The birth of the flying car dream. The dream of flying cars took flight in the imagination long before technology caught up. In the early 20th century, science fiction novels and shows like The Jetsons painted a picture of futuristic cities where cars zipped through the skies, sparking humanity's curiosity. But when did people start turning fiction into reality? In the 1920s, inventor Glenn Curtiss introduced the autoplane, a hybrid car-airplane that could have been a game-changer. It had wings and a propeller, and although it never took off, it was the first step towards making flying cars more than just fantasy. Fast forward to the 1940s and 1950s, and we saw the birth of the Aerocar by Moulton Taylor. This prototype was one of the first fully functional flying cars with wings that could fold when driving on roads. Yet, widespread adoption remained elusive. But why has the flying car remained more fantasy than reality? That question was echoed in pop culture when The Man with the Golden Gun, 1974, showcased a car seamlessly taking to the skies, embedding the idea into our imagination. Was that just cinematic magic, or could it become reality? Flying cars in pop culture. Flying cars have long soared through our imagination, fueled by iconic moments in movies and TV shows. Who could forget Back to the Future's DeLorean, where time traveling and flying seemed natural, or the James Bond clip from The Man with the Golden Gun, where a sleek car sprouts wings and takes flight, leaving audiences in awe? These moments didn't just entertain. They sparked a collective curiosity about whether flying cars could one day become real. But what makes these fictional portrayals so captivating? They seamlessly blend the dream of effortless flight with everyday convenience. Yet, the reality isn't quite so glamorous. While these movies make it look easy, engineers face immense challenges. How do you combine a car's smooth drive with an aircraft's aerodynamic precision? How do you keep it safe and practical for daily use? The magic of fiction often glosses over these hurdles, but precisely, this gap between fantasy and reality keeps us intrigued. So, are flying cars destined to stay on screen? Or are we on the verge of seeing them soar above our cities? The answer might be closer than you think. Modern developments. As we entered the 21st century, flying cars began moving from the realm of sci-fi fantasy into the world of functional prototypes. Companies like Terrafugia introduced the Transition, a car that could drive on roads and take off like a small airplane. Meanwhile, PAL V's Liberty offered a glimpse into the future, combining a gyrocopter with a sleek road vehicle, marking some of the first flying cars that were not only tested, but marketed as personal air vehicles. Suddenly, the dream was edging closer to reality. But what does the modern landscape of flying cars look like? Companies like Uber and Joby Aviation are taking a different approach with VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles designed for urban air mobility. Imagine calling a flying taxi from your phone and soaring above gridlocked traffic in minutes. Sounds futuristic, right? Yet with lighter materials, better propulsion systems, and AI-powered navigation, this future may be closer than you think. However, there are significant hurdles to overcome before we get too excited. How do we manage air traffic if thousands of flying cars zip through the skies? What safety protocols must be in place? And can our cities adapt to this new transportation infrastructure? These questions aren't just theoretical. They are actively shaping the development of flying cars. In the Grand Tour, we see a car smoothly transitioning from road to sky, symbolizing how far we've come. But will flying cars take off even with these advancements, or will they remain exclusive to the ultra-wealthy? As technology races forward, the gap between fantasy and reality narrows. Are we on the brink of witnessing everyday flying cars, or are they still a distant dream? Stay tuned because the skies might soon get a lot busier. Elon Musk's vision. Elon Musk, the visionary behind Tesla, SpaceX, and countless other futuristic ventures, has redefined transportation on Earth and beyond. But when it comes to flying cars, his stance is surprisingly cautious. Musk has voiced skepticism about flying cars, particularly in urban settings, citing concerns about noise, safety, and the cluttering of city skies. Instead of soaring above traffic, Musk has focused on going underground with the Boring Company's tunnels, aiming to alleviate congestion through high-speed transit below city streets. But what if this billionaire innovator changed his mind? SpaceX's vertical takeoff and landing technology, perfected with rockets, shows the expertise already exists. Could Musk pivot to airborne vehicles if the technology and infrastructure advanced? With its cutting-edge electric vehicles and AI-driven systems, Tesla can enter the flying car race if the time is right. So, will Musk stick to his vision of tunnels and hyperloops? Or could we see a Tesla flying car in the future? As the dream of urban air mobility evolves, it's worth wondering if Musk's next game-changing move might take us to the skies. After all, when it comes to Elon Musk, the unexpected is often just around the corner. The future. Is it happening? Even if flying cars become a reality, is society genuinely prepared for integration? Significant adaptations in infrastructure, regulatory frameworks, and public acceptance would be required. How would urban air traffic be managed to ensure safety? And what systems would prevent accidents or address technical failures? Environmental considerations also arise. Would these vehicles be sustainable or simply exclusive luxuries? While the vision of flying cars is compelling, the practical challenges are substantial. Companies like Urban Aeronautics and Lilium are advancing electric VTOLs, suggesting a future where flying taxis might become viable. However, widespread adoption remains uncertain and will depend on overcoming these complex obstacles. Flying cars have come a long way, from early fantasies to actual prototypes. Will commuting through the skies become a reality or a dream as technology advances? Let us know in the comments if you trust a flying car and if you think Elon Musk will join the race. If you enjoyed this journey through the world of flying cars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more futuristic content.